When you hear the word money, you might want to curl up in a ball. Some of you might put your hands up and want that money to flow to you. And so today we're going to be talking about the basics of money and the core things you need to know about money in order to get more of it into your life and to take advantage of this tool that can help you build the life that you want for yourself and for others. Let's do it. Number one, everyone has four basic components to money. So in their financial structure, we have number one, assets. We have number two, debts. Number three, income, and number four, expenses. Those are the main core four things of financial independence and financial structure. So assets, debts, income, and expenses. And measuring and comparing these things can help you determine the state of your financial well-being. So what are assets? Assets are things that you own. Assets are things that can bring you more money, like investments or properties, things of that nature. If you own a business, all of those things can bring you in money. So it's these things that are making you money, right? By owning them. Debts, things that you owe, right? And so you want to make sure you have more assets than debts if you want to be financially independent and if you want to have more money. But debts, just like with a credit card, those are debts and things that you owe. Also, we have income. So how much money is coming in? What amount of money is coming to you? And then we have expenses. So how much money do you have to spend on things? And it's the money going out. Number two, another basic of money is what the heck is it? What is money? What is it for? Why is Elizabeth talking about it so much? So money is an item, any item or medium of exchange that is accepted by people for the payment of goods and services, as well as the repayment of loans. So it is something, and in this case, it's money, currency. Maybe eventually it'll be digital currency, or if we use our credit cards and things, we just swipe. But it's this exchange for any service rendered, right? And so if you are buying groceries, you are paying for them. If you are having someone help you with a task, you're paying for it, right? And so it's this payment for service rendered. Number three, another really important thing to learn about money and to know about money is how to spend it. How do we manage it? So we know we have our assets, we have our income and expenses, we know we have our debts, but how do we go ahead and arrange it so that we can manage it properly? Well, the biggest tip would be this budget rule. Have you ever heard of the 50-30-20 rule? All right, so if you haven't, you can implement it into your own life, or you can make an adjustment. I know people who do the FIRE movement or who are trying to be more aggressive with their savings and investing, they save even more and invest even more than this rule, but this is a good standard that will get you to a good place. So the 50-30-20 rule simply recommends putting 50% of your money towards your needs, putting 30% of your money towards your wants, and 20% towards your savings, okay? So the 50-30-20. And you can allocate this however you want. But if you're spending like 80, 90, 100% on wants, that is a big alarm to say, hey, I need to make a change and maybe I need to allocate more money to savings and investings and my needs. Number four, another great thing to learn about money is the golden rule of money. So what is that? The golden rule of money states that you need to spend less than you make. And so you've probably heard me say this a million times on my channel, and it's interesting. There's certain concepts that have been repeated and that are repetitive, but hopefully that will stick in your brain and you'll go, oh, I keep hearing about this specific thing, or that I need to pay myself first, or I need to spend less than I make. Maybe that's important. Maybe I need to do that. And maybe eventually it'll stick. So you always want to spend less than you earn, less than the income coming in, because it doesn't matter what income you have. Lifestyle inflation is real, and people usually spend more when they have more. And so if you're making $50,000, great. But if you're making $250,000, you could still be in a lot of debt or not have a lot of investments and be living above or really close to your means and spending 80% on needs and wants instead of lowering that, right? And so it's really important to be aware of that and to not let lifestyle inflation and the lifestyle creep up, and to say, hey, maybe I need to live a little bit below my means because I want more freedom, I want more money and time, and etc. And honestly, if that's not what you want, that's okay. If you just want the big house and you want to be in this situation, and that's fine, and you're willing to work and to do the job, and maybe you love your job and to do it for a really long time, then that's fine. And it doesn't cause you super crazy hours, and maybe it does. The point is everybody's different. And so I just want to give you the knowledge so that you can make an informed and educated choice for whatever works for you and for your life. Number five, money is power. And so I hate to say this, but it's true. Money is power. There's certain things that are power in the world. And we could talk about Robert Greene's The 40 Laws of Power. That's a great book and it's super, super impactful. So if you want to know more about that, let me know in the comments below. But money is power. It's a tool. That's simply what it is. It's a tool to be able to do things. And so if you have more of it, it's a tool, so you have power, so you can actually take more control of your life. You can spend without being stressed or without being debt or without relying on other people. You can give more to other causes or things or people that you care about or that you want to invest in, and you can make changes in the world. And if we talk about it on a broader scale, some of the most wealthy people and companies and owners of these companies in the world, they can put a lot of money into supporting political candidates and political campaigns. And even products and trying to, with the government and trying to market them to us, the more money from different industries that go into those things, they're going to make more money and they're going to be the ones in control. And so money is powerful and it's just something to be aware of. It's not something to be freaked out about. Always control what you can control, but it's just nice to know that and to want that for yourself, right? There's so much money out there. There's trillions of dollars out there. You can definitely get a portion of that. Number 6, the Warren Buffett rule. How many of you know of Warren Buffett? He's amazing. We could do a video about him and his life journey. Honestly, he's an amazing investor. He's getting older. His right-hand man, Charlie Munger, just passed away. But seriously, his strategy and what he's done and what he's built for himself, and also the time that he built it. He didn't build most of his wealth until he was like in his 60s or 70s, but it was the power of compound interest and time and patience. So super, super interesting. But his rule, number 1, never lose money. Number 2, don't forget rule number 1. And so this happens in life. People lose money, especially like I'm going to do these videos talking about being a risk taker and sometimes taking risks. Like you might lose some money, and a lot of wealthy people are willing to take the risk because they know they can gain more money in the long run. But Warren Buffett, like he sits on cash for a long time before deciding what to invest in. And he sits there, like we talk about the wealthy and the rich do, and he reads all day, and eventually they find where they want to put the money and then they plop it in and pour it into that investment. But really, he's very cautious about losing money, right? And especially if you've built a significant amount of wealth, you have more to lose. We talk about this and I'll talk about this, but if you don't have a lot of money and you don't have a lot of opportunities, you don't have a lot of things, you don't have as much to lose. You have nothing to lose because you don't have a lot. And so go for it, and you can take bigger risks. But when you have more, be careful because you can lose that money, especially if you have a family and you have more responsibilities and such. And so just be careful. I don't want you to live in fear. So don't let this rule lock you up and hold you back. But just be aware of that it's tried to make more money instead of losing the money. 7, a super important principle with money is super simple, but it's just know how much it costs to live. Know how much you need to live in the area you want to live in, the area you do live in, or the area you have to live in. So how much does it cost? What would it look like? And so if you are younger, or even if you're not, look at it now. Start looking at that when you're trying to decide what job do you want to do and what do you want to do with your life. How much is it going to cost? And so I don't want you to only make your decision based on finances and cost. I know that can be a path to destruction as well and can lead to unhappiness in many areas of your life, but it is something to think about, especially if you want more for your family and you want to be able to provide and do things in the world. And so just look at it. How much does it cost? What's the cost of living in your area? How much do houses cost? How much do the houses and the places you actually want to live in and the neighborhoods you want to live in, how much do they cost? How much is the job that you're trying to get? How much would they pay you and pay you over time? Is there opportunity? So just ask yourself these questions. I think it could be helpful. I think we can just be in the moment and be working on the path, and we don't really think about what it's actually going to be like. So definitely look into that. Number 8, if you want more money, the basic rule is to provide something of value, to provide a service. And so if you provide a skill like plumbing, or if you're a plumber or an electrician, or whatever skill that is, if you're a doctor, if you're able to be a transcriptionist, if you're able to be an engineer who solves these problems, you get paid, right? And so even with businesses and companies, they sell products and they sell different things that can hopefully help a consumer. It can make them feel better about themselves. It can make their lives better and help entertain them, etc. So it's just a product. And so to break this down really simply, like if you were to give a product, right, then if you sold $500 worth of product to 2,000 people, that makes you a millionaire. That Okay, or it gives you $1 million. It doesn't mean that that's how much profit you have, etc. But if you sell $500 worth of items, or like a $500 service, or $250 services to 2,000 people, and there's billions of people in the world, that's $1 million. And so just start expanding your mind with money and stop thinking that $1 million is just this crazy amount of money, and start expanding. The more that we think is possible, the more that we see is possible, the more that we are able to create that in our lives and that we actually see it is possible. So just expand your mind on that, provide value, provide services, provide things that people need, and more money will come to you. Number 9, the laws of money. We want to be owners. The more you could be an owner instead of just an employee or rely on somebody else for the money and the income, the more money you're going to make. Number 1, the more time you're going to have, but also we want to be an owner, whether that's investments, whether that's certain assets or businesses. If there's anything I can tell you about, it's to be invested in the stock market would be awesome and get those low cost index funds, but it's also to start thinking like an owner, to start thinking about what businesses can I own, not just like entrepreneurship, because that's a whole different level. And we could talk about the cash flow quadrant. We could also talk about the income quadrant, and with entrepreneurs and with employees and with owners and investors, etc. It's very, very eye-opening, but you want to be more on this side. You want to be more with an owner mindset, because that's where you're going to make more money. 10, a basic principle of money is that we need it. And I know it could be silly, or you could be like, why does she keep talking about money? And it's not because I'm obsessed with money or something. It's just because I see the value of it. And when I've gotten older, and I've always wanted, I'm a teacher, I wanted to help kids and I wanted to help them grow and learn. But I've seen how much adults need support and help. And if we support our adults, and they're happier, healthier, better taken care of, we're probably going to have happier, healthier, and better kids, right? If adults are rocking and rolling, they're able to be better leaders and such. And so I just wanted to share this because this is one of the things that a lot of people struggle with, right? It's our health, it's our finances, it's some of these things that cause strain and stress in our lives. And so finances are a big thing. It causes a lot of stress. It causes a lot of pressure, anxiety, and problems. And from a lack of money, it's from a lack of a lot of things, but one of the things is a lack of money. So I want to share it with you in hopes that you can take personal responsibility and accountability and go get that money and build and put value and bring out the potential you have in yourself into this world, because we need it and you deserve it and you can have it. And so money is a tool, and the more good people with tools and the more people who have the tool to live their lives and to be in peace and to serve and help one another, the better. Number 11, it's super important to not be scared of money, to live in fear, or to feel like there's not enough. And so what are the things you're telling yourself? What are the things you were told? Are you saying, oh, that's too expensive. Oh, I can never have that. Or rich people are bad people, or they must have cheated their way to where they are into their success. All of these things, it's lack. And whenever you're operating in a state of lack, and we could talk more about this mindset and this state of being, then the more lack you're going to have, and you're definitely not going to have more come to you. You want abundance. You want to see money as free flowing and as this gift and this opportunity and this potential to help yourself and help the world. And so be careful and start looking at what is your mindset and your feelings around money. It can really reveal where you're at in your journey and identify some work that you might need to do. And lastly, you need to figure out how to make it. So whether it's with your regular 9-to-5 job, typically this is the first way to build your first 100K and to actually make significant steps in the right direction. And with building your wealth, eventually it has to do with ownership and entrepreneurship and things like that, and investing and being an investor. But at the end of the day, it's up to you and it's your choice and you have more control. And so how can you earn more money? How can you make more money? And how can you make this world a better place? All right, so those were some of the basics of money that I put together and that I thought of. Let me know in the comments below if you would add anything else, any other ideas about money, or any questions that you have on your journey. I'm happy to share what I've been learning and hopes that it can help you guys as well. Please let me know in the comments below if it is, and if you'd like to see other videos. Feel free to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe for more videos like this, and share with a friend if you think it can be helpful to them. Thank you so much for being here. You've got this. Keep learning, working, and growing. I know that you can pull out what's inside you and put good into the world and make as much money as you want to do more good in the world and to take care of yourself and your family. Thank you so much for being here. You've got this, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.